Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, July the 10th, presented by Mercury. It's time for the guys to share their information, help us be able to catch a few more fish. We're going to check in with Tom Ott, as always, in Guntersville. We caught up with Tracy Robinson for Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. Of course, Josh Herron is going to give us all the 411 on Logan Martin and Lay Lake and how we might be able to catch a few ourselves using the stuff that they do day in and day out. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with what the guys have to say. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, July the 10th, presented by Mercury. Hey, it's time to connect with Tom Ott, our buddy from up there on the big lake up on the mountain. Hey, Tom, tell us what's going on there at Guntersville.
Hey, Dano, I'll tell you, this week's been a wet one. We've had some overcast, a little bit of rain coming through, so that's been real good for the fishing. A pattern I've been working on a lot here has been a topwater. We did have some mayfly hatches a week or so ago. Really, brought some of those brim out on those shallow flats, and a spook, a zero spook, a popar, something along the edge of those grass flats, especially on the back grass line, has really been producing for me. And not only that, it's a lot of fun. So, you got to get out there and try that. But some of the southern or summer patterns are really starting to show their worth. And flipping seems to be a good deal right now. Punching a jig, punching a big creature bait, something like that in that 5-6 foot of water. It seems to be producing the better fish, at least for me. Of course, the ledge bite's still there. Last weekend with the 4th of July, there was just so much dang boat traffic out there. It was really difficult to stay on a school and have them, at least if you could catch 2 or 3 out of it, you were doing pretty good, at least in my experience from it. But, they're still there. But it's getting to that time where I like to expand around a little bit, play around with some of the other patterns that are happening. There's 20 patterns going on at Guntersville that are produced at any possible time. So, it's great out there.
Talk about the night bite a little bit. I'm sure that's starting to with the heat. I'm sure that's starting to happen a little bit. Do you tend to fish on the ledges out there, or do you tend to go shallow?
I'm a spinnerbait guy in the grass. I kind of lock one of those in my hand and just go. And that is, there's nothing like a spinnerbait bite at night. I mean, if you haven't experienced it, you're going to catch a lot of fish, especially they seem to be grouped up. But I'm telling you, that's the time to really catch one of those big Guntersville pigs. And it's just nothing like throwing that little thump, 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 bam. It's fun.
And big old hubcap spinnerbait blades at night can be a lot of fun. And I'm sure if you wanted to, you could get around some of those deeper docks and catch some brim on some crickets and stuff like that too. So, Tom, hey, thanks for everything that you do. Thanks for all the information and the time that you spend with us. We know you and St. Jennifer are enjoying the summer, and you're doing it the right way with a line in the water. Thanks, man.
You know it. Keep those lines tight, guys. I appreciate it.
Talk to you soon. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, July the 10th, presented by Mercury. It's time for us to check on in here with our local lakes here at Bucks Island, Weiss Lake, Neely Henry. We spend a lot of time on this, but someone spends a lot more. Tracy Robinson, tell us what's going on at Weiss Lake these days.
Weiss Lake's it's calmed down a little bit from all the crazy weather we had back in the springtime. Seemed like what we talked about each week, but now it's a little bit more at least consistent. Even when it's not good, it's still consistent. But the currents are way down now. They're running about 8,000 cubic feet per second through the dams now, and it's staying pretty consistent day to day. So at least right now, you can get on a bite and kind of stay with it a little bit. The Weiss Lake, it's definitely a summer pattern right now. But on the Coosa River, summer pattern doesn't always mean deep. There's still fish being caught up shallow, but whenever you're getting into that shallow bite, it needs to be around some cover, some shade. The mayflies, willow flies, I guess they're called July flies right now because we've had a huge hatch in the past, week or two. And I caught some fish, chatterbait, brim style type baits around some of the shades and bushes and even on some of the seawalls in the sunshine. But that bite actually was pretty good there for an hour or so in the morning. But after that, I did a lot better on the crankbait out on the 15 to 17 foot ledges. With this year being so abnormal fishing wise, I'm not seeing those big schools out there that I usually see where sometimes you can roll across some of those schools and see 15 plus fish. Right now I'm kind of having to target 5 to 7 fish, and if I see 5 to 7 fish when I'm scanning, I'll stop and make some casts on it. But they are catchable fish. They're just not the numbers out there. And then that other pattern I'm talking about is, it's the docks, the shades, the skeeting the jigs, plastics under the docks. And there's still a little bit of frog bite going on too in some of the shallow grass, as long as it's, some of that grass has got some cover to it and some shade. Couple of 2 tournaments I watched this past weekend at Weiss, 3+ pounds average is still winning the tournaments up there. Brushy Branch last night, even a couple hour tournament, 3+ pound average in that tournament. So they're definitely eating right now, and you can catch them from the bank out to a good 20 foot as long as you're kind of thinking about that summer pattern of shade or depth with some oxygen.
Well, that seems like Neely Henry. You're going to catch a few shallow, maybe around the grass a little bit when that current's running a little bit, but you may have to spend a little bit of time on some of those deeper docks, skipping a jig there, and maybe some of those offshore bars. That's the kind of stuff you got to do with a shaky head. I like steep bluff walls at Neely Henry this time of the year too. Them spots will stack up on there, and I'll throw me a little Davis shaky head on there. Well, Tracy, man, thanks so much for everything that you're doing, for all the information. We will talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Dano.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, July the 10th, presented by Mercury. We're going to head on down right now with Josh Herron down on Logan Martin and Lay Lake. Josh, tell us what's going on down there at your end of the neighborhood.
Man, it's hot. That's what it is. It's hot. But, man, it's full-blown summertime fishing right now. It's all the things I don't particularly like to do. It's the shaky heads, it's the brush piles, it's having to base your day on current generation schedules, and it's hot.
Well, we've never known any heron to have an opinion that they voice, but anyway, tell us what it is, what they have to cope with in this heat. What are the fish going to do top to bottom from morning till afternoon?
Man, I still think the morning times are going to be your best deal. Not only just because the fish are going to bite better, it's a boat traffic thing. I think that actually sometimes it helps, sometimes it hurts. But right now, your mornings are going to be your best deals. It's going to be I think it's going to be your biggest chance for a big bite through the day. Anything from, spots. My general theory is a spotted bass is never going to bite better any time during the day than he is at daylight. So that's what I would focus on. Lay or Logan right now is probably spotted bass at daylight.
So you're going to throw a spook, a vixen, something like that. What, seawalls, flat points, grass lines?
Yeah, seawalls are a really good thing to check this time of year, especially before boat traffic gets up. So spooks, vixens, shower blows are really good bait on the Cooster River, especially for spotted bass. And then steadily start transitioning out through the day, whether it be deep river docks, brush, points, any kind of little nooks and crannies, especially when the water fires up. So that's going to be your big kind of the way you need to base your day is kind of on current flow. When the water's running, you need to be relatively close to where it is.
So what kind of technique? Maybe a football jig, shaky heads, wacky rigs?
5XD is a great bait on the Coosa. We don't have the Kentucky Lake style river ledges where you necessarily need to be worried about hitting the bottom in 20 feet. But I think the Coosa, the 8 to 12 to 14 foot range is what really, really shines. So like a 5XD, a 6XD, a shaky head, casting a drop shot's a really cool way to catch spotted bass. An eco rig, so kind of break out some of the more finessier style things, but you don't necessarily have to do it with light line. You can get by with 10 and 12 pound line pretty much any day of the week on the Cooster River.
Well, man, we appreciate it as always. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks, man.
Well, that'll do it with our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, July the 10th, presented by Mercury. Thanks to everybody for their information. We appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. That way, whenever we go live with these reports and any information coming out of Bucks Island, you'll be able to get it first. But thanks to the guys for spending the time, and most importantly, thanks for you spending the time with us. We hope to see you soon right here at Bucks Island and the Loft.